questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Coming up next on Talk Today, it's the first Thursday of the month, so of course we hear from the Family Resource Center, and the Circle of Love Women's Ministry is here to tell us about their fundraiser to help their work in the community. And of course, we'll get in some open lines so you can tell us what's on your mind. Talk Today's next. Stay with me.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I hope you're having a good one today and enjoying a nice lunch maybe, huh? Something really scrumptious, or catching up on those errands. Well, whatever you're doing, it's good to have you aboard. And it is the first Thursday of October. And that means we're going to get an update from the Family Resource Center. Joining me via telephone now to tell us about their Stood Up program at the Family Resource Center is our friend Anne-Marie Diaz. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Looking forward to Friday, you know.
Yep. It's always a nice relief after a hard working week, right?
Oh, yeah. So you're going to tell us more about the Stood Up program today?
Yes, sir. So every October for the past 13 years, we have had a running public awareness campaign called Stood Up, which is our bullying prevention campaign. And it's evolved through the years, and we see, as the years continue, where we see amazing initiatives led or self-led from the schools even. I want to shout out to Joanna Clark Primary, who has pretty much purchased all the shirts we had, and we had to actually bring in some more because they have such a commitment from their parents. And Theoloine McCoy Primary, every year they do a fabulous job. They host anti-bullying marches and poster competitions internal within their school. And so we just love to see the motion continue and that topic about bullying, educating our young people on preventing bullying as much as possible. And so, I'm here to talk about the 2025 Stood Up campaign. And this year our theme is Kindness is Contagious, because at FRC we believe one of the main antidotes to bullying is kindness. When we're kind to one another and focused on those supportive and kind aspects, we're going to be less likely to engage in bullying. We're also going to be more engaged in standing up to bullying in a kind and respectful way. And so we even talk about things like replacing some terminology, right? Like, so sometimes we hear in certain schools or quite widespread actually about snitching And so we've been pushing replacing the terminology of snitching, which is really about an intention of getting someone in trouble, to reporting. And reporting, the intention is all about keeping everybody safe. And so reporting is a form of kindness also, as is standing up for oneself or their friends. And there's several ways that parents and the community and schools can get involved this year, which is really exciting. And I can continue to share about that as we go and we chat. But I would say the biggest point is our fair. We're really excited to bring back the Stood Up Fair, which we started and had as an annual feature for a few years. It somewhat got paused. I think it was really after COVID, or during COVID and after that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really excited to be bringing it back, and it's an interscholastic fair, so it's open to all the private and public schools, home schools, the individual child that just wants to go ahead and register their interest. So it's open to everybody.
So what happens at this fair? What's it like?
Right. So we have a registration, and it's based on, it has different age categories. So we have 10 to 16-year-olds. They're going to be present at the fair. They're going to have, kind of similar to your typical science fair, they're going to have a display that speaks from their personal perspective on bullying, maybe comes up with some ideas and how they as an individual or as a initiative for their school can potentially respond to bullying. And it also encourages students to get educated in what their school's bullying policies are already, which is really important, and share and compete against fellow students from other schools. But we're also thinking about our youngsters, too. So those children who are 6 to 9 years old, they don't necessarily have to attend the fair, but they can participate by submitting a poster or art competition that also speaks to similar themes.
And when is this going to happen?
So it is going to happen on October 31st. It originally was going to be tomorrow, but we want to have as many students, as many young people signed up to this very important fair as possible. So we've decided to extend it to ensure that students have enough time to not just register their interest, but to get started on their projects. Now, registration will be closing in the next couple of weeks, but that's fine. Nothing, projects don't have to be completed by then, but projects do have to be completed and ready to display by the 31st.
Okay, so when you say a project, this is a sort of a display?
It's a display, yeah, similar to kind of the typical science fairs, people might be more familiar with. You'll see a trifold board, and we actually have trifold boards, so you don't have to worry about anything. We can provide that for you. So school counselors have been collecting them from us. We've even had some returned already because some students are really eager and really motivated to get their work done and submitted. So we really appreciate that. And a big shout out to Triple C School, who has been really committed to this fair, and we're really excited to receive their submissions already. But yeah, you can reach out to us even for the artwork. So children between 6 and 9, even for the artwork, we help to provide the art paper. And so it's just up to students to decorate.
So you're looking for them to create a message that would communicate with their peers.
Yes, with their peers, with parents, with anyone, because their voice matters, and whatever their issues or whatever they're noticing, whatever is important to them, they need to speak about. And they'll have guidance when they go through the registration. It'll have guidance in terms of the theme and what their project, they can choose a particular theme. that helps to prompt them and give them some ideas of where to go. But the initiative essentially will be pushed by what they choose in their registration.
Okay, we're going to take a little break here, but we'll be right back.
It's me again, that old Gala wantin' with Cayman Airways. Looky ya, I go in Tampa again, cause Tampa tickets are on sale and they're flying faster than fritters at a fish fry. I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle Rewards miles I can get for even more trips with my award-winning national airline, Siona Erectly.
Book by October 8th for travel through December 15th from just $293 CI round trip, including taxes and fees. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from October 13 to 18 at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.portercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're hearing about the Stood Up program of the Family Resource Center. And on the phone telling us about that is Anne-Marie Diaz. You mentioned when you were talking earlier that this program has evolved over time. How would you say it's changed and evolved?
I would say when the campaign really kicked off, I think it was one of maybe a few, just maybe the only or one of a few agencies and initiatives that were really talking about this topic. But we see, there's other agencies and organizations that talk about this, and it's embedded in various programs from all across Cayman and public and private sectors. And I would say, too, how it's evolved from how people have made it their own. So it's really nice when a campaign gets started and it becomes a movement, right? It shifts from this particular agency or group of people pushing an agenda to where actually people agree with it and embody it and want to carry it on. It becomes a movement, and it is something that the young people themselves, I think, hold dear. We know parents and schools love it. They love to talk about this topic, and the Stood Up campaign helps to make it relatable and fun and child-centered and easily digestible too. So I think that's how it's maybe evolved, because we're seeing it become more of a movement that all people are getting involved in doing their own kind of self-initiated and self-motivated pieces and programs and talks and presentations. And like I said, a lot of the schools, they do their own thing in honor of it. And it's wonderful to see, because they really take it on and make it their own. And that to me is then a successful campaign.
Was bullying on social media as bad as it is now when the Stood Up program started?
I think there was some discussion around that, yes, but I think just as time goes on and how important social media and I suppose digital media in the wider sense has become to young people, there's so much research and education around the dangers, and of course tech is also incredibly helpful. It's how we're having this conversation. It's how I'm creating all the material for this campaign. It is essential for a lot of us in how we do our work. And so we're now having to educate ourselves, or as parents educate our children in being safe digital citizens, and understanding the dangers of introducing things a little too young or too often. The frequency in our use is something to consider. And certainly in social media, there's evidence that speaks about how dangerous that can be on mental health, for young people especially. It is also how young people are interacting with one another and communicating and socializing. So social skills are something that needs attention too, and we know social skills and bullying can, go hand in hand, or I would say lack of social skills and bullying can go hand in hand.
So the theme is like kindness.
Yeah.
Tell us. Well, what's the theme again? Just remind me.
Sure. So the 2025 theme is kindness is contagious. So it's the idea that every act of kindness has the power to inspire others. It creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond our own circle. And it disrupts the cycle of bullying. It fosters resilience. It builds communities that are safe, inclusive, empathetic, and stronger. So there's this idea that kindness really disrupts things. It's essentially an antidote to bullying. And so we're really pushing, educating parents and the community on how to create kind communities within their immediate spheres of influence, as well as outside.
So you're saying exhibiting kindness to children prevents them from, or discourages them from becoming bullies? Is that the right train of thought there?
Yeah. So as a parent, if we have a rule, an expectation, or a culture of kindness within our family and how we speak to one another, so it's a two-way street too, right? Kindness exists from all. It's not just how we treat our children, but how we teach and have expectations for them to treat us and others, right? And certainly, because a big part of it too is that social emotional understanding. So when a child is able to express themselves in a safe place also, that is a good adherence to or prevention for bullying, whether from the victimization standpoint or from those bullying behaviors. We never want to demonize any child or person that engages in bullying behaviors, because what that's a big red flag or an indicator is that person just needs some support in understanding what's going on for them, what's the root cause for the bullying, and support in how to communicate and behave in a more socially appropriate way.
Yeah, what leads a child to go out on the play field and bully another child? I mean, that he becomes the playground bully. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening with that child? I mean, I know it's
Well,
probably a number of things, but
number of things. It's hard to give a blanketed statement to say, hey, this is it for all children, because we're all individuals too. And so what could be happening for one child that does that compared to another could be a myriad of things and quite different between the two. But essentially, there's likely something going on for them, whether they are struggling to communicate some pain point that they're experiencing, whether they're experiencing issues in the home, or they're don't have a safe space to express themselves, or they don't feel like they can express themselves appropriately at school. And so sometimes they notice, we notice the differences in one another, and children see another child who might be more vulnerable, may be a potential target, or a group of children who could be potential targets. Sometimes the pain that child is experiencing goes out onto those children, right? And of course, not appropriate. They need to find other ways of expressing themselves and managing those things. And so essentially all persons involved in a bullying incident needs help and support. And, if I take it to some data, also the National Drug Council, their most recent survey didn't necessarily get into the focus of bullying, but in 2022, there was data that showed that at least 50% of children had been victimized or been a target of bullying. And we know that it's probably even more than that when you think that most children are at least exposed to it, at least from the bystanders' perspective. So you may not be a target, you may not be the bully, but as the bystander witnessing what's happening, you may have been exposed to it. And I think most people can speak to bullying from that perspective. And in terms of our Stood Up campaign and what Family Resource Center aim to as a goal is, how do we get our bystanders to becoming upstanders? Meaning, I'm not just going to stand by and watch and observe and essentially be a part of the problem, but I'm going to stand up and do something. And if I want to make sure I keep myself safe, I could just be reporting it to a safe adult or a member of the authority. Or maybe there's a safe way that I can disrupt what's happening right now. And there's also research to show that 50% of the time when a child goes over or someone goes over to disrupt it, it minimizes and diminishes the future of that bullying incident taking place again. It usually, once it gets disrupted, it's less likely to occur again. So that's why upstanders are so essential.
Are you trying to tell even those who get bullied to respond in a kind way?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how disarming that can be. But there's so many ways you can respond, and it depends on the situation, right? If you're in danger, the most important thing is to get yourself safe, get away from the person, get yourself safe. But it all depends on the situation. But a lot of times, someone who's engaging in bullying behavior needs the kindness the most, really. So if there's a way of doing that, and like I said, reporting, in a sense, is kindness, right? Because when you report, the hope is that that child will get the support that they need and be able to start to express themselves in a better way. And of course, these things take time. They might be in social emotional sessions for a while, say with a school counselor, learning these things. Change takes time, but yeah, there's different ways of being kind. Kind doesn't necessarily mean, being smiling and accepting it. Certainly not.
I mean, the old-fashioned way, and I might have even been guilty of giving this advice myself, especially with a boy that finds himself being bullied. You tell him, listen, the next time he comes up to you and do that, just hit him as hard as you can in the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the old-time way of dealing with a bully, right?
Yeah, and I think, it's not to say that's not effective, because, you hear where that sometimes stops it. it's us wanting to ensure that we're handling it in a way that's nonviolent, because we can't be sure that if we do that, we don't hurt that person more than we had intended, which can cause a greater consequence to all involved. And if that's the message that gets echoed and we're all punching people in the face and being violent, it could get nasty, right? It could really snowball. So I think if we really come away from approaching it in a as non-violent way as possible and non-aggressive way as possible, that'll be good, right? Us being assertive, approaching things as, how do I make this situation safer, right? That could be a good lens to look at it through.
All right, let's take another break here, and we'll be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Attention Cayman, transform your kitchen for less with Granite Express Cayman. Skip the Christmas rush and take advantage of our year-end promotion. Offer is valid until October 31st. Refresh your space with our cabinet respray services and quartz countertops for as low as $3,950. Selected material. If you only need a countertop, prices start at $2,250. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit Granite Express Cayman today or call 922-0424 for our free estimate. Granite Express, quality stone, unbeatable prices.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're hearing about the Stood Up program from the Family Resource Center. On the phone is Anne-Marie Diaz of the Family Resource Center. So the age groups that you're looking for to participate, I guess, is pretty far-ranging.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because we know that children will view this topic from age-appropriate lenses. So the younger groups are creating a poster, creating art all around their own views of standing against bullying, and encouraged to create their art image. And then 10 to 16 will have their own unique groups. And then in terms of grading, we're going to be giving first, second, and third place trophies to those who have earned it. There is a grading criteria. We're going to have judges from different industries joining. We have youth services units supporting us. We have various persons within the government supporting us, and we have persons who are also of the creative mindset too, and that can really grade in terms of that visual clarity and appeal and creativity and originality also.
So when do you announce the winners and present the trophies?
On that very day.
Okay.
So yeah, the very day of the fair. The judges will be there. They'll be spending their time going around. Each student gets up to a max of 5 minutes to really present about their project, about their perspective, and then they keep going until they've gone to every student, and then they will collate the numbers, their grades, and then based on that, we will announce winners. And so we're hoping we have winners from different schools, private and public, as I said, are invited. It's an interscholastic event, and so we want to see all schools, absolutely every school and the Homeschool Association, all of them represented at the fair.
So when do people have to get their work in or register at least?
Yeah, so we have extended it to Friday, October 17th as the registration deadline. So no project has to even be started at that point. It's really just you registering that you're interested, picking the category in the registration form that you're hoping to represent. And then between the 17th and the 31st, you're working on your project. And then on the 31st, you're showing up, you're representing your school, you're representing yourself. And yeah, really making a big show of it and standing up against bullying, especially in relation to this year's theme.
So when you say the categories, those are the different age groups that you're talking about? When you say categories?
We have different age categories, and then they get to choose a more narrowed down theme. So if I were to give an example, in the age category of 10 to 12, they can have a project that focuses on being an upstander, not a bystander. So that means you're designing an initiative or some form of strategy that helps to keep people safe, but also how everyone is standing up to bullying and how people are becoming upstanders. So that could be a focus for one project. And then for the age category of 13 to 16, for example, there is a briefing about a mile in their shoes. And this is where a child can imagine that they're assigned as an internship with the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. And they are expected to create a program, again, that is all about the experiences, the effects of bullying, the power of empathy, and how to create a more inclusive and kind community. So those are some examples. And so I think once students or, if their parent or their school counselor or teacher are helping them with this, once they go in and they review it as carefully as possible, they'll see the different themes. They get to make their choice on what they'd like to do. And then just enjoy the process of being creative and educating themselves also. So I think it's a little bit of, if you don't know about this stuff, that's great. This is a great opportunity to research, educate yourself on what is bullying, how do I prevent this, and get creative about it.
So the winning pieces, how do you use them?
The winning pieces, well, a few years ago, we had an incredibly beautiful piece win at one of the fairs, and we had it framed, and it actually adorns one of our walls in our agency. And every single new client or family that comes into the agency, they walk past it and they admire it, and it's a conversation starter. So this year, we will decide what we might do. I think it would be great that the school, the winning kind of student, that their school really has that displayed somewhere nicely at the school, I would think would be best. And their trophy, they take their trophy loud and proud, really nice in a nice display somewhere. But luckily we were able to keep the beautiful poster, and it's preserved, and that lovely young lady that won that, she went on, as far as I know, to an art institute, and she's doing great things. And she was incredibly talented.
Maybe you could get them, the winning posters, duplicated and publish them, use them as promotional items in online newspapers and things like that.
That's a great point. Yeah, we're definitely photographing everything. And the younger category, that's definitely going to be photographed and displayed and announced on social media. But yeah, absolutely. I love that idea.
What is your feedback from parents or young people as far as what's happening here in Cayman with this problem? What are they encountering?
I would say, I guess I'd go back to the NDC youth survey that was done. They do it every few years, and the one that was done in 2022 that recorded data on bullying, I can actually pull that up really quick and read some of these numbers.
Okay.
But actually it says almost half of all of secondary school students reported having been bullied at some time in their of all secondary school students at that time reported having been bullied at some point in their life. And I bet if this was a question, if they had at least been exposed to it, it might have been 100% where you've at least witnessed it, right? And it goes into 23.1% reported past year bullying. So about 1 in 4 students are reporting that they were bullied within that year. And 1 in 8 students reported that they were bullied within that last 30 days before they took that survey. It also shows that girls are slightly more likely to report bullying opposed to boys. So 52.9% of girls will report it. 42.3% of boys will report it. And there was no statistically significant difference between boys and girls for the past year in terms of bullying. But this means that there was not strong enough evidence to conclude that boys and girls differed in terms of bullying others or being bullied themselves. And the highest proportions of having ever been bullied was reported by students in grade 11, because I guess they're coming to the end of their academic years, and at least in that secondary sense. And most see a decrease in that grade level also.
As they go into their last year.
Yeah. So that's what the data is saying. And I think, parents will, if they have a close relationship with their child, should be able to say, what's going on for their child at school. But sometimes, for one reason or another, a child might be too scared to share about something. But I would say if parents can keep a close connection with the school officials, connect with the teacher regularly. And I think with the higher-ups, too, because sometimes, teachers are also in somewhat survival mode. So by the time, you're collecting your child, you might not get a good account of what's happened that day.
Yeah.
Because that teacher is, tired and they are winding down. And it's a lot to process for them also. So sometimes just connecting with one of the higher-ups could actually give a really good picture of what's going on for your child or that particular classroom, too. So I think we have to have kind of a triad theme going on between student, parent, and school. Find out, if you're a parent, find out from your school what their anti-bullying policy is. Most schools will actually have it up on their website, so you can even Google the name of the school and Google anti-bullying policy, and it should pop up. And when I do it, I'm able to get access and review it, get comfortable understanding the school's procedures and policies, and being able to communicate that in a more age-appropriate way to your child is really helpful too. And regular reminders, every couple of weeks or something, really, bringing that up and asking your child, are you seeing anything? This is what you could do if you do. This is how you can stand up without getting yourself hurt, but keeping everybody safe. And I think if we're all following that, then we're, creating that culture of safety on a wider scale.
So before we're completely out of time here, just give us the deadlines again.
Yeah, sure. So for the fair, your deadline will be the 17th of this month, and the fair itself will be on the 31st. We're also going to have a parenting forum. I know we didn't have time to really get into it, but we want to promote inclusivity and empathy and kindness. So we're encouraging parents to come to our forum on October 25th at Intergenerational Hub. Bring your children. And we are partnering with Inclusion Cayman because we're focused on inclusivity and having children exposed and practicing kindness with families of all abilities. And so that's coming up in October 25th. So people can follow us on Instagram, email us at frc@gov.ky if they want further information, to register for anything we talked about today. And if you want to buy our Stood Up shirt, feel free.
Okay, Anne-Marie Diaz, thank you so much for bringing us up to date on the Stood Up program, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye, Mr. Glidden.
Bye-bye. It's time to check in with the newsroom. Let's see what's making headlines.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. Acting Premier and Tourism Minister, the Honorable Gary Ruddy, says no major disruptions are expected for Cayman flights, despite a U.S. federal government shutdown. Mr. Ruddy says air traffic control, customs, and TSA are expected to continue operating, and October's lighter travel demand further reduces the chances of delays. The ministry is monitoring the situation with Cayman Airways and other partners. In international headlines, an assailant drove a car into people outside a synagogue today in northern England and then began stabbing them, killing 2 and seriously wounding 4 others in a terrorist attack on the holiest day of the Jewish year. Greater Manchester Police said officers shot and killed the suspect, though it took authorities some time to confirm that he was dead because he was wearing a vest that suggested he had an explosive. The Metropolitan Police in London, who lead counter-terrorism policing operations, declared the rampage a terrorist attack. The number of Canadian visitors to the Caribbean fell by 9% to 1.67 million, while arrivals from Europe dropped by an estimated 5% to 2.53 million during the first half of 2025 compared to the same period last year. Paul Garnes, database administrator at the Barbados-based Caribbean Tourism Organization, said this is due to softer demand tied to weaker consumer confidence, higher travel costs, and currency events. Garnes told the 2025 State of the Tourism Industry Conference that Europe remains an important market to the Caribbean tourism product, but demand is under pressure due to economic headwinds and/or stronger competition from other destinations. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Linton Nathaniel Tibbetts, 1923 to 2011. Linton Tibbetts was known throughout the Cayman Islands not only as a successful businessman, but as one who showed great interest in his homeland and invested time, money, and influence to help the welfare of his beloved sister islands. In the late 1960s, he organized the first annual Cayman Picnic, still held each July in the Tampa-St. Petersburg area, to bring together the many Caymanians living in the United States and encourage them to remember their roots. In 1972, Mr. Linton and several other successful Brackers started an air service between Florida and Cayman Brac to bolster the Sister Islands' embryonic tourism industry. The air service was later expanded to serve all three islands with a fleet of 7 planes. He built hotels and museums on both sister islands and was involved in establishing Cayman Brac Power and Light Company. Although his career was primarily devoted to operating his chain of building supply stores in Florida, he always visited the islands frequently and maintained close ties with his family and friends in Cayman. Mr. Linton and his wife Pauline, Miss Polly nee Inix, had 4 children.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Circle of Love Women's Ministry Fundraising Gospel Concert in West Bay, Saturday, October 4th, 6:30 p.m. Admission $10 at the West Bay Heritage Park, featuring the Red Bay Gospel Band, Gospel Recording Artist Cranston Forbes, Live and Friends Tanisha Morgan, and many, many more. All proceeds go to the Seniors Brunch 2025. It's a gospel event you don't want to miss. A gospel event you don't want to miss.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. This is Talk Today, and let's do a little weather check here. It's 87 degrees at Owen Roberts International, and the humidity's got it feeling like 101, and humidity of 78%. Wind out of the east-northeast at 5 knots, and the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies this afternoon, evening showers, and tonight it should be clear. And let's see what's happening on the hurricane front. Looking at the National Hurricane Center's map here. Yes, we have a little disturbance that's going to be developing out there in the Atlantic, and we should really keep our eye on this one. I don't know. It's got a 20% chance right now of cyclone formation in 7 days. So it is heading westward to west-northwest at 15 to 20 miles an hour. And this disturbance is still in the eastern tropical Atlantic. But it's got a kind of very westward track going here, according to this. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah. So they might pay us an October visit, you know. And the other day we were talking about when do we know that the season is over. And a friend of mine sent me one. Says, Old Caymanian Seafarer's Wisdom, first nor'wester in November marks the end of hurricane season. Yeah. So that's when a cold front comes all the way down, and you get some rough seas out there in Hongsday Bay, right? Well, I thought I had guests, but I'm not going to have any for right now. Got to wait a while. So, what's on your mind, K-Man? Pick up the phone and give me a call. 1-800-534-8255. 8255. Compliments of flow or non-flow users. You can use 949-8037 or 949-6990. Or you can send me a message on WhatsApp, 925-3261. You can give me a call on WhatsApp also. Yesterday I started mentioning about sending a gift, to relatives in the States or a friend in the States. Not as simple as what it was, no. And you got to have some instructions here to know exactly what to do. I found this in my post office box, when was it, a couple of days ago. So, there used to be able to send gifts valued under $800, and it was exempt from any kind of customs duty. So that was what they called the duty-free de minimis exemption for the USA. That's been taken away, apparently. All exports of merchandise from the Cayman Islands into the USA will likely now incur customs duties and charges, no matter how small the shipment's value. You will have the normal postage, additional charges, and a refundable deposit when posting for your package. Documents in newspapers, magazines, any kind of paper document is not affected. And bona fide gifts valued up to $100 US are restricted to those items, get this, restricted to those items previously owned or homemade by the sender. So the only way it could be a bona fide gift is if you owned it before you're sending it, right? You're sending some clothes or something, you had to have worn that for a while before you send it to your friend in the States and say, here, you could have this now as a gift. Gifts do not include items that have been purchased regardless of their value. Duties and tariffs will be assessed on all goods exported to the USA, including purchased gifts and samples. It is the exported item's country of origin or manufacture that determines the USA duty rate. The Cayman Islands Postal Service must assess and collect from you at the time of posting. And then you got to go through there's procedures here. Forget about just going down, putting it in the mail, get some stamps or whatever. To avoid delays, complete your customs declaration using the mobile app EAD Customs Declaration. Then email the declaration ID and supporting invoices to the Cayman Islands Postal Service, exports@gov.ky. The CIPS will then contact you with the assessed duty tariff and the deposit required. The assessment of these charges will be based on the information in your declaration. It's like coming through customs, You got to fill out a declaration of what you have. And once you receive the quote of charges, take the quote and the unsealed package to the post office. It must be inspected by the counter staff before sealing and posting. Wait for confirmation that the package has cleared U.S. Customs. If no additional fees were assessed on the package by U.S. Customs, the Cayman Islands Postal Service will then return any unused portion of your deposit in cash. If you send packages containing merchandise regularly to the USA, contact the Cayman Islands Postal Service Customer Care Department, and you'll become a known shipper, and you have a known shipper agreement. Customs compliance and accurate declaration of goods are now more important than ever. I would say, gone are the days of just sending a little Christmas gift up. Go get yourself some stamps and put them on and, put it in the mail and that's it. They get it next Christmas, maybe. Maybe a I guess if you want to send a gift, you say, I got to send somebody something. I got to show them a little love, right? So I guess you just contact Tortuga and say, send this person a rum cake for me. Or go on Amazon or something and send them a gift from Amazon. Maybe it won't say Cayman on it, but at least you met your obligation of sending that person a gift. Show them a little love. All right? We often talk on here about the cost of living and how expensive food is. Apparently, the turtle farm, you can get some cheap meat from them, $9 a pound. But the thing is, they're selling it for $9 a pound. I guess that's cheap. I mean, if you go to the grocery store, you buy some fish or something, or salmon. How much you pay for salmon? Maybe $16, $17 a pound. The turtle farm, Turtle Center, is that the right name now? Yeah. So they're selling it for $9 a pound, but it costs them $31 per pound to produce that turtle meat. So you don't have to be a math genius to figure out that that's a loss right there, But would you pay $31 a pound to get some turtle meat? Let me know. What do you think? Should they raise their price to $31? That's what it cost them. That's what it costs to produce it, right? And you said, oh, that's expensive. But it's the national dish. It's not just, some everyday dish. It's not jerk chicken. You can pick that up anywhere, right? This is a delicacy. This is the national dish. If you want to eat the national dish, you should pay for it. $31 a pound. We have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Listen, sir, please do not encourage the government to raise the cost of turtle meat. I know it may be a lot, but it is a national dish, and I appreciate that the government is offering it at that cost still in order to allow its people to continue to enjoy its delicacy. I don't eat turtle meat myself, but in the long run, the food chain, it comes back around, because once it's cooked and sold and the merchants the restaurants and so forth make their money off of it, and the government gets their, you know how the economics go. I think it all works out. But what I called about was I wanted to just kind of bring up a little bit this meeting that the Lands and Survey had at the Marriott. I think it was the Marriott on Thursday evening. And I arrived there late, but, I spoke to some people during and after. Actually, some people approached me after. And I asked the very last question, and my question was pretty much the effect of, why was there no discussion, or why isn't anyone talking, or the stakeholders, or, anyone involved in real estate and lands and so forth, not discussing on ways to try to, I guess, in a manner of speaking, try to see how best to curb the rising cost of properties in the Cayman Islands, at least in certain areas, and therefore putting those properties within reach of working class, middle class, and low income Caymanian families. And I know I've asked that question before, and I was told, well, we can't dictate to people how to sell their property and so forth. But I still think that it could be done, and I asked that question at the meeting the other night, because my understanding was nothing to that effect had been discussed. And I think that is very, very important to have discussed. In addition to I understand they also discussed that there is a there's not enough housing in Cayman that falls within that type of bracket, working class, middle class, low income housing. And
so this was the meeting, the forum,
right? The price, the resident. What is it called? The price index.
The residential property price index.
Yes, release that they were bringing online, and from my understanding of that is only to monitor and have the public be aware of the types of prices that are being asked for properties and how the market is and so forth. But that still doesn't. I think that there should have still been a discussion in there with all the people that were there. Number one, I'll say this respectfully. I didn't see, and again, I knew a lot of people there. I knew the moderator, but I didn't see what I call a local Caymanian from the real estate market, or from who I would think was representing our category of people, and I'm including myself in that category, our category of people who are in the working class, lower class, low income families. I didn't see anyone on that platform that represented those people. I didn't hear anyone on that platform that was representing those people. And I that category, and for me that kind of puts the forum and the price index almost at a low spectrum of failure, because that somehow or another this has to be implemented. It seems like these groups of people is being marketed out of the real estate market. And someone said to me that night that they were told that working class and lower income Caymanian families have to go east. It was a Caymanian that said that to me, that they were told that those class of people have to go further east to get properties. And of course we know that, but even going further east is outside of this category of people's reach.
So let me ask you, I thought I just know which meeting you were talking, because you mentioned, I think, Lands and Survey or something. Or
yeah, well, they put.
But
it
this
on,
is the one that was organized by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors.
I don't know who was organized by, but I know I saw on the little thing they put on social media, it was between Lands and Survey and the Ministry of Lands and the Ministry of Lands and whatever the other wording is. I don't know about the Chartered Institute, and I think it was the head of the Lands and Survey that actually gave the keynote speech, I believe.
Because I see a story in the Compass, today's edition, and it's like the big takeaway from this forum that they had was that there's not enough affordable housing. Right. Which my first reaction when I read that, I said, "Well, did they have to have a forum to know that?" I mean, we could have told them that right here on Talk Today, right? Isn't that true?
Exactly, Mr. Glidden. And I would venture to say, based on the feedback that I got from a number of people, at least 7 people, there wasn't really anything discussed too much in that category until when I asked a question about affordable and low-income properties and the market, trying to work on making sure that there's properties that are safeguarded, if you want to put it that way. And the Compass, the guy that was there representing for the Compass, a gentleman, he said to me, he said that was a great question. He said, I am going to discuss that now. So when he did his reporting there, when the meeting was over, I guess that's when they came up with that. But from the understanding that I got, before I got there was nothing along those lines that were discussed. They were focusing on this price index and other different areas of the market. And to me, I was very disappointed in that, because this area, this affordable housing for Caymanians or whatever working class people, is part and parcel to the very essence of the real estate market.
Well, to bring the point home, looking at this story in the Compass, and this was, they're quoting Amanda Bodden, head of retail banking at Butterfield Bank and president of the Cayman Islands Bankers Association. She said that if you look at the inventory on the Cayman Islands Real Estate Brokers website, which that's a lot of listings, there are only three houses listed below $250,000 currently. 2 single-bedroom condos in Northside and 1 house in Cayman Brac. And she said even if you increase the maximum price to $500,000, $500,000, there are only about 180 residential properties on the market for sale with our population of some $80,000. So, that really, paints the picture for you. Because I think that, wouldn't you say that probably the average person would be hoping to be able to buy a house $250,000, $300,000? But or even less, I guess.
Yes, but Mr. Glidden, I don't know if that report. I haven't read that article today because I haven't gone online to look at what's posted today. But even if she mentioned that, right, that is just in passing to highlight that particular area. I don't know if she mentioned that during the forum or if she mentioned that with him interviewed, the reporter may have spoken to her after the forum was over or whatever. But that still doesn't implement in there the fact that, okay, we in the real estate market, we in the lands of survey, we in government are trying to work together to see if we can have certain areas around the island, see how we can best, like how they're doing that little development up there in East End, which I heard that is primarily for East Enders. There was no discussion surrounding, okay, well, we're in the real estate market. We're all stakeholders in this. We're all invested in this and selling properties and the real estate and so forth. What are we going to do? This is what we've all discussed or what we talk about or what we're looking at to see where around the 3 islands can we look at trying to maintain certain areas that would benefit working class people and low income people to try to become
that sounds really nice and everything, but I mean, if you're in the real estate industry, right? Mm-hmm. Are you really interested in selling a place for $250,000?
No, they're not. No, they're not, and that's what I'm saying. This forum could have brought it, but the point I'm making, Mr. Glidden, I'm sticking to this too, is that these people are really not invested in making sure that Caymanians achieve. The real estate market is dictated. What my research has found, and even realtors have told me. The market is dictated by the realtors, right? And the realtors will dictate how much to recommend to a seller, how much they think a property should be listed for based on surrounding sales of other properties and so forth. So unless you go into the bank, which is the norm, right? You really don't even have to get an evaluation for your property.
Yeah. Well, even the quantity surveyors, use what has been sold in that area as some kind of starting point as to how to value a place.
Right. Well, from respectfully, from what I understand, some of them should not be trusted either because they have been
Because remember, you're talking about market.
Get into that.
They give two values, right? You can get, like for insurance, you get the reinstatement, what it would actually cost to rebuild it, and then there is the market value and what people are willing to pay.
So Mr. Glidden, I'm just going to say this, right? Just for example, in Florida is right, our neighbor right up there, right? When I lived in Florida, and say let's say during COVID, the government set in place that investors from outside the country could only buy a certain amount of properties. And if they were buying properties in, say, apartment complexes or condos or whatever, they could only buy a certain amount of units. Certain properties in certain categories. Not every property for sale could be bought by anyone. Some properties had to be left. When I say left, I'm just speaking loosely. Some properties, all the realtors knew this. Some properties had to be where certain buyers on the market going through certain programs would be able to buy those properties, not because the properties may have been lower. That means that an investor got a first dibs on that property. The financiers had to show and demonstrate with their financial institutions that we are accommodating certain other classifications of buyers, and yes, Cayman is much smaller, and yes, we are the creme de la creme of any investor or any buyer in this island. But the thing is, who is going to finally stand up and say, listen, we only have so much land space geographically, and our people are getting out marketed. We have to stand up and do something. You're telling me. I don't know how it's going to be done. I don't have the answer.
Same thing happened to the Hawaiians, The same thing happened to the Hawaiians. Listen, I'm coming up on a break here, and I got to make a change. So I want to thank you for your call and bringing that to our attention.
And don't be surprised if I call back again. Thanks very much.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right.
All right, bye-bye. Yes, we've got to take a break, and we're going to be hearing about the a fundraiser for some community organizations, or organization rather, the Circle of Love Women's Ministry. And they do some great work, so we're going to be hearing from them. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
It's me again, that old gal Galawantin with Cayman Airways. Look here, I go in Tampa again, cause Tampa tickets are on sale and they're flying faster than fritters at a fish fry. I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips with my award-winning national airline, Siona Erectly.
Book by October 8th for travel through December 15th from just $293 CI round trip, including taxes and fees. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, tune in to Breeze Radio for a special Yesteryear musical celebrating Older Persons Month. It's October. That's on Breeze Radio, Saturday evening, 7 o'clock. Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Breeze Radio.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. The Circle of Love Women's Ministry does a lot of work to support and empower people in the community. Among their many projects is the annual Seniors Brunch. And joining me in the studio now to tell us more are Lisa Hall. She is the Outreach Officer of the Circle of Love Women's Ministry, and also the President of the Circle of Love Women's Ministry, Julie Hunter, MP for West Bay West, right?
Oh, you got that right.
Well, I was looking at your website, and the first thing that struck me is when we hear the word ministries, someone preaching to you comes to mind. But look at your website. It's like you are not so much about words, you're about action.
Oh, you got that correct. Yes, we're about action. Because we feel that, you can make a difference just one life at a time, one individual at a time. And that's what we have tried to do at Circle of Love. Our motto is to uplift and inspire and encourage one individual at a time. And I feel that if we can do that in our daily lives, and, there was a song that said, you bring the one next to you and I bring the one next to me, and together we'll all make an impact. So if all of us do something, then it makes a big, big picture. And what I've learned is that you don't have to do extraordinary things can be done by ordinary people. And that's what we've tried to do at Circle of Love. We are an organization that, first of all, we are a non-profit organization that we're dedicated to supporting individuals and families in need. And we have been able to do that through our outreach ministries. We've been able to, starting in 2012, we partnered with the Department of Children and Family Services. And so every year we put on a really big children's breakfast to support Child's Month. And then in October, we put on the Seniors Brunch in support of Seniors Month. So those are our two big banner events. But apart from that, we have many other ministries. We do a walk and worship. We do health clinics. We do monthly breakfasts every month. That's men and women. We, like I say, offer groceries. We offer things like utilities. We provide. Sometimes the needs are as diverse as somebody needs eyeglasses and can't afford a pair of glasses, or you can't afford your school fees for your child, or, what are some of the other things that we've done?
We also support the back to school, where the kids will help them out with supplies for back to school as well. And family need right across the board. If we know about it, we will attend to it. So Circle of Love, we might be quiet, but we are a giant.
I was saying, you're quiet, because I can't say I've really heard a lot about you. But then, again, looking at the website, you do so much.
Yes, we do get out in the community.
How long have you been at this?
2007.
And you started it?
Yes. Me and a friend of mine, we started it.
So you've done a lot of work helping people in that time.
In the last 18 years, yes, we have.
Do you focus on West Bay or?
Oh, no. No, it's interdenominational, and it's across the island. It's island-wide. Like, say, for instance, last year at our seniors brunch, we had 250 between volunteers and seniors. Over 200 seniors attended last year, and it was island-wide. So what we do is we look at each district, and we give the allotted amount for each district depending on the population of the district. So in other words, Georgetown would get more. Georgetown usually has about 50 spaces that we allot for seniors. West Bay has like 35, and then the other districts will have 20.
Northside, West East End,
Bordentown will have
and they
like
bus
20
it.
And we pay for the buses to bring them in.
So you spread the love all over.
We spread the love all over. And Charlie, I must say that it's one of my favorite mornings for the whole year. When you see the seniors and how they enjoy this morning, and you tell them to come from 10. They're there from 8:30.
8:30.
You better have somebody manning that door from 8:30, because they're going to start arriving. They're so happy to be coming, because they know when they come, they're going to get their prizes, they're going to get inspiration, they're going to get...
What happens on the day?
What happens on the day? On the day, we have, first of all, we have a big brunch, but apart from that, we do a lot of spot prizes. So we have tons and tons of spot prizes. So everybody comes because they know they're gonna walk away with something, right? Then we have speakers, an inspirational speaker, so that it can uplift them, encourage them that they still have a lot to give to the community, so on and so forth.
And sometimes there is the food is good as well. The food, variety of food right there. They got entertained by the younger people. The schools will come in and do a dance, or you got an individual piece. They enjoy the music. There is also the queen competition, best dress competition. Those who wear the old time clothes. They will come and they will parade.
And these are the seniors now.
These are the seniors, yes. It's all about the seniors. From the moment they come to the door, they are catered for. They right through, not to mention the spot prizes, the baskets, the sponsors they just come in and they just do what they got to do. And they have a wonderful day. The place is beautifully decorated. They are catered for.
Where do you have it?
At the Triple C Multipurpose Hall.
Okay, all right.
So they don't get up. They don't get up to get their food. They are served.
Oh, wow.
Right through the day.
Only time they get up is when they hear the music start and they want to get on the dance floor. Some of them you can't hold them down when that happens.
Right.
So you're having a fundraiser to make all this possible.
Yes, that a fundraiser to help with it, to help defray the cost, because like I say, we do a lot of things for them and with them, and we want to make sure they're completely taken care of. So the concert this weekend, we just can't say how pleased we are that the amount of singers and entertainers have come on board with us. For instance, we have the Red Bay Band. We know everybody loves the Red Bay Gospel Band. We know that Clive and Friends is also very popular. We have Cranston Forbes and family. We have Tanisha Morgan. We have Janelle Cajon. We have Sister Reed. Everybody loves Sister Reed and her singing. And many, many more, coming on board with us to help us with the concert, because all of those people realize the work that we do at Circle of Love. And so when we said it to them, they said, sure, be right in. Be right in with you, because we know that this is a very valuable project.
When is it going to be?
So
this Friday.
Okay, go ahead.
This Saturday night. And it's going to be at the Heritage Park in West Bay.
The Heritage... Okay, so where do people purchase tickets beforehand, or you just come and you pay to get in?
Well, we have tickets on sale. One of the places that you can get tickets is by Lisa at 923-1065, or at the Rehoboth After School on School Road. You can find me right there. And the other members of the Circle of Love, they do have tickets as well. Or if you didn't get your ticket, you can also get your ticket right at the gate. No one is blocked from coming in. The cost is just $10, and it's for a worthy cause.
Do you need people to also volunteer to help with this?
No, we don't need volunteers, but there are a lot of people that have said to us, I can't attend the concert, but I want to support you. And I just want to say that as well, that we do accept support. We need support. So if you want to give $100, you want to give $200 to the cause, even though you can't come, that's very, 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 very welcome.
About how many seniors do you think attend on average over the years?
Oh, no. Every year we have over 200. Over 200.
The numbers goes up every year.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
we had to put up more tables and chairs last year. So we got up to 250 last year. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing,
So the word is out there about this brunch.
Oh, the word is out there. The word is pass out there. For many, many years, the word has been out there. It's a phenomenal morning, and I can't say that enough. And we just want our seniors to know how much we really, really appreciate them, the work they've done in this island to make it what it is. And a lot of them, Chalo, sit at home day after day and don't get out and don't get a lot of interaction. So we want to make sure that we do our part to do that. And
you actually provide transportation for them to get there?
Yes, we're providing transportation. We will have buses running from West Bay, a bus that will take care of North Side and East End, and then probably one for
around Georgetown.
Mm-hmm. The main one that don't really need a lot, Miss Dorlin usually takes care of the Georgetown seniors, so she normally has those organized, but the rest of the districts will have buses.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about some of your other work, because I know it goes well beyond just the senior brunch.
Oh yeah, but like I say, we've done many events. One of the things that we did the last 2 years was we had health seminars that were very good. We would get different doctors, nurses, psychologists to come in, and we had a big morning health seminar. Most of our meetings are held at the Georgetown Yacht Club.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a
women's health.
Yeah, women's health. We did one just designated to women's health. And then we did another one last year. We haven't done that one this year because we try to go by what's happening. This year, a lot, what we did too is a grief seminar. There was a lot of people dying and there was a lot of grief in the community, and we just felt like people kept reaching out to us and saying, are you guys doing anything? And so we put together a grief seminar with our grief coach, Ms. Rhonda Cornwall, and that was really well received. A lot of people got help on that morning. Then last year we did the marriage enrichment seminar, where we had a couple come and they talked us through all the ifs and ands and whys and why nots and do's and do nots of being married and keeping that candle flickering and keeping the love going. So,
And we also have just simple praise and worship. Is there anything that you want to thank God for? That's the space to be. You just come and you worship and you listen to the word and you share your testimony, how you're going on, how you're feeling, and the things that you're thankful for. So amidst all of everything else, we have a praise and worship, straight praise and worship.
In your work as the outreach officer, is it? What do you encounter? What do you see in the community?
Well, sometimes you see people that are really struggling. Sometimes there are persons who somehow look okay, but in the inside, they're struggling. Maybe they just want a hi, hello. Maybe they want somebody to just say, oh, I care, I understand. And then you meet people who are inside of a house, but they have no gas. They got cupboards, they got no food. So these are the things that are out there in this community. You got people who are struggling with all different low wages, stuff like that, and they're saying, how am I going to make it? And they just want somebody to say, oh, well, you need a helping hand? Circle of Love. We go over to Miss Julie, this person needs help. And, oh, well, we didn't know that. Thank God for talking. And we try to meet that need. And we don't want to just give people fish, but we want to try to help people to be catchers of fish as well. So there's many things out there that looks good, but it's struggling underneath.
You got to take a closer look to see what's really happening.
Right.
Because what I've learned over the years is it's not just about building and doing programs, but it's about building relationships. And when we help others, we get help ourselves. So that's very important. Leaving a legacy behind is extremely important to me. So, working for my community, I've always been a worker. Believe it or not, I started working with my grandmother, who was an avid Christian lady. Started working with her from time I was like 8 years old. She would take me the afternoons on a Saturday to deliver bread to what was then the shut-ins. But as a child, I didn't know what I was getting into, but it really helped me and groomed me for a life of service later on in life. So I must thank her for that. And what I've learned that when you build a relationship, then you can help them in so many other ways, because you have to get that relationship first before they'll open up to you, before they'll let you know their needs.
They'll trust there.
Yes, before they'll let you know their needs. They're not going to tell you that their cupboards are empty if you haven't first built up that relationship with them, because, pride is real as well.
Okay. I think we have to take a little break here. Yes, we're going to take that break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
It's me again, that old Gala wantin' with Cayman Airways. Look here, I go in Tampa again, cause Tampa tickets are on sale and they're flying faster than fritters at a fish fry. I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips with my award-winning national airline, Siona Erectly.
Book by October 8th for travel through December 15th from just $293 CI round trip, including taxes and fees. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Fall Labor Force Survey and Quality of Life Survey is currently being conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office. The Labor Force Survey seeks to collect data on employed and unemployed persons who are not in the labor force. The Quality of Life Survey seeks to gather information on life satisfaction, sense of well-being, financial security, economic outlook, social inclusion, sense of belonging to the local community, and perceived health. Trained interviewers with ID cards will visit randomly selected households. For more details, please call the ESO hotline 516-3329.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today, and we're hearing from the Circle of Love Women's Ministry, and in the studio with me is Lisa Hall, the Outreach Officer, and also the president of the Circle of Love Women's Ministry, Julie Hunter, MP. Now, in the break, you told me you wanted to tell me a little story to demonstrate
Yes.
some of your work.
Yes, some of our work. And this is really a Christmas prayer that was answered. One Christmas, we were delivering our Christmas baskets of love, which is another thing that we do. These baskets were filled with food and care, small tokens of love. As we approached one home, we found a lady sitting outside, leaning up against a wall. And when we greeted her, we told her what we had brought and why we had come. And she looked up and she said, I knew God would answer my prayer. I've been praying for something to eat. I haven't eaten all day. That moment pierced my heart. It reminded me that ministry isn't just about programs. It's about people. It's about God's perfect timing, and it's about being the answer to someone's prayer. That basket wasn't just food, it was hope. It was proof that God saw that lady, heard her prayer, and provided for her. Another quick one is one that we had at the Youth Impact 2 years ago. During the service, the speaker, we do a Youth Impact once a year as well. The speaker gave a powerful challenge to the young people in attendance. He spoke about receiving and carrying the anointing, about stepping into the calling that God has placed on our lives. In that moment, a young man came forward, quietly, humbly, but with conviction. Later that night, he went home and he told his grandmother, he said, I received that anointing that the speaker is passing on tonight. That young man is now faithfully serving in his church. He's mentoring youth and he's leading by example, and he's being a blessing to the next generation. Those are what I call real evidence that God is at work, and that when we give ourselves in service to him, that he'll do the rest.
Do you find that when it comes to seniors and medical checkups, that a lot of seniors don't have the access that they need?
Yes, that we are experiencing that day and night. They're not getting the access because of the health insurance issue that we're having here. A lot of people do not have health insurance, can't simply afford it. I mean, you know the cost of health insurance. So if you're not, so a lot of us, leave work after years and years and leave without any health insurance benefits. And so it's depending then on the government to do all of that. And of course, government simply cannot do everything. We try, but there are those out there that we don't even know the need. We don't even know that they don't have health insurance unless they come forward and say so. So a lot of times people will suffer in silence. I'll say, well, why didn't you go to doctor? Well, I don't have insurance. I don't have money to pay. So I hear that a lot. And Chalo, that's one thing that we are addressing as a government. It's vital, it's important, it's urgent, and I personally am going to be taking that on. I am taking it on.
Well, that's good to hear, because we've heard it from you now, and I've heard it from the Lions when they come in and they're talking about their mammograms, and women can't afford the mammogram, men not getting health checks for prostate because insurance isn't covering it.
Exactly.
So
that's a real need. It's a struggle. It's an everyday struggle, one of those everyday struggles, And that's why sometimes, too, we have to step in at Circle of Love to help with medical needs, help with things that, maybe could have been prevented if they had had the proper care.
Now, on the website, I saw a friend of mine, and he used to be on radio too, and he plays some nice music. I hope he still does. Roy Bodden.
Oh yes, Mr. Roy.
Is he prominent at your brunches? Does he perform?
He is. The one you probably saw, was it him with his guitar on the platform, or that was another one?
No, I think it was him and his wife that I saw.
Okay, so that was probably last year then. But the year before, he was one of our entertainers. So Mr. Roy was up there playing his guitar, and they were asking for more. And then, of course, Mr. Roy, he goes way back. He has the old-time songs, and that's what they love. They love those old-time songs that they can sing along with. So as he would start one, they would ask for more. So yes, him and his wife are very, very prominent in our seniors brunch.
All right, so let's get some details again of how people can support you.
Okay, so I just want to remind the public that this weekend you do not want to miss our fundraising gospel concert at the West Bay Heritage Park. And for those of you that don't know where the Heritage Park is, let me remind you that it's right next to the Ed Bush Stadium, right by the Cayman House, the beautiful Cayman House, right there. That's where it's at. So you come on down to the Ed Bush Stadium, and then you surely won't get lost if you get to there. It's only $10, a mere $10. For lots of old-time music, lots of fun. We're going to actually have light refreshments on sale. So come on down. If you don't have a ticket, that's not a problem. We do give admission at the gate.
Okay, and you give them the location for tickets again?
That's Lisa at 923-1065, or I'm at after school at Rehoboth After School Center. That's on School Road.
So they can just drop by.
They could just drop by and pick their ticket. Mm-hmm. I want to give a shout out to some of the persons who really sponsor us.
Go ahead.
Yes, we forgot our sponsor.
Yes, before we go.
You can't forget your sponsor.
No. Before we go to the major sponsor, one of the things that has been helping us over the years is like the hairdressers. They give a nice voucher for the seniors to have their ear washed, the barbers to get the seniors to have a haircut, to get their nails done. Mm-hmm. So it's not about the big sponsors. We're talking about the little people who also come on board to help and sponsor this.
It's back to what you were talking about, the little acts
events.
Of kindness.
Little acts of kindness, yes. We have persons who would just give us hair product, lotion, and we would just do baskets, and seniors are so excited to have these things. And Miss Julie also have a listing of our over the years sponsor, persons who have not came off board. They just stay on board every year, keep sponsoring.
Ministry of Social Development, of course, is our major sponsor. We have Foster's Food Fair, Hurley's, Uncle Clem's. We have Kirk's giving us vouchers. We have CUC came on board in a big way last year and gave us vouchers for electricity that we could give them. They gave us a bunch of $50 vouchers. We have Rubis who gave Rubis who gave us gas vouchers. We have Versuna Events International. We have Motif Media. We have lots and lots of
Party Source.
Party Source came on board. Massive gives us a big discount on the tables and chairs and linens and so on and so forth. So big out to them. Treats gives us a really good price because they are our caterers, so they give us a good price. So I just want to thank our sponsors. Without them, this would not be possible. So thank you for helping us to make our seniors feel special.
And also, we should also remember that Lions, they come on and support us as well.
Lions and Rotary Sunrise.
They come on.
Sunset comes and help us set up.
Right.
On this Friday evening, they bring all the young people.
Miss Marie Martin.
Miss Marie, she brings the young people. So a lot of hands go into it, Chalo, as you can see.
Suppose people listening to us today want to get involved. Is there a way for them to get involved with you?
Oh, sure. They can get involved anytime. I'd be happy to take those kind of phone calls. So 916-2118 is my number. You just have to call me or call Lisa, 923-1065. And we can get you involved, however small it is, however big it is, we can get you involved in the Circle of Love and more specifically for the seniors brunch and the concert this weekend. Remember, the concert starts at 6:30 on Saturday at the Heritage Park, West Bay.
Okay. So any specific things that you're looking for, I mean, as far as any kind of skills or anything like that people would have that they can help you with?
No, I would love to have someone in administration. I'm short of administrative skills right now because, as you know, I am very, very busy and I've had to drop off some of those administrative skills. Then another one of my administrators left the island to relocate in England, so I'm short of administrative skills. And but basically, once you have a heart to serve, I can find a place for you.
Find something.
I can find something for you to do.
Yes. And let us also not forget about our other members. We want to shout out to all the Circle of Love members who have worked over the years to make this a success. All hands are on deck, and we appreciate all the members.
Yes. We have some awesome ladies that come on board every month to do whatever it is that we have to do. They come on board.
Well, I'm sure the community is very grateful for you, the work that you've done over the years, and going about it in a very quiet but deliberate way, and fantastic stuff that you're doing there. So we've been talking to Lisa Hall, the outreach officer of the Circle of Love Women's Ministry, and also the president of the organization, MP Julie Hunter. Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you a very successful event.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. We will continue with more talk today, right after we check in with the newsroom and see what's making headlines.
We are talking about us.
Living in your head rent-free all this time.
We must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
The National Conservation Council says Cabinet's decision to lift an interim directive will not immediately affect the blue iguana release program. That said, the NCC warns the decision weakens long-term protections. With the change, the NCC can only recommend measures like speed bumps to protect iguanas, not require them. Meantime, the Department of Environment is fast-tracking a draft conservation plan to help safeguard the species. In international headlines, Israel and Lebanon are both reporting heightened tensions today after cross-border exchanges of fire overnight. The clashes have raised fears of further escalation in the region, with UN officials calling for restraint on both sides to prevent a wider conflict. The European Union has approved new emergency funding to help tackle rising energy prices ahead of winter. The package includes subsidies for vulnerable households and further investment in renewable projects as European leaders push to reduce reliance on imported gas. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And taking a quick look at the weather here. The forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies, showers in the evening, and clear skies in the nighttime. And there's some weather out there in the eastern Atlantic that we have to keep an eye on, see exactly what direction that will take. Maybe it will develop into something. 20% chance of a cyclone formation in 7 days. So just be aware. Be aware what's going on. It's October. Still a lot of hurricane season left, right? And, I was quite impressed with the the Circle of Love Women's Ministry there. I had not really heard a lot about them before, but they do some wonderful work, quite impressive. And as Lisa Hall said, they've been going about doing it, quietly. They don't make a lot of noise. They just do a lot of work. They put their Christian beliefs into action, not just words. So before we were talking about the Circle of Love Ministries, a caller had brought us attention to the forum that took place, and the whole outcome of that, or the big takeaway of that, was, there's no affordable housing in Cayman. And I had pointed out that this lady, Amanda Bodden, was quoted in the Compass saying there were only 3 houses listed below $250,000 in the Cereba inventory. 2 condos, 2 single-bedroom condos in Northside and a house in Cayman Brac. And that's the dilemma when it comes to housing, is especially for young people trying to, move ahead, get themselves established, have a family, have that happy home. The whole barrier is getting that home in the first place. And people just being marginalized when it comes to being able to get a decent place to stay for a price that they can afford. And, it happened in Hawaii too. The land prices went up so drastically that the Hawaiians couldn't afford the land. And essentially that's what's happening here. If you ever seen what the cost of property has increased just in, say, 3 years, 4 years, it's incredible. Properties that were, maybe $300,000 just a few years ago have, suddenly gone up to over $400,000, maybe even $500,000. That's an incredible increase. And of course, salaries are not, keeping up with the cost of what the property prices are. What's to be done? That's a big, big question mark. The government gives a break to first-time Caymanian home, property buyers, I guess. And I think they even give some kind of break even if it's your second time purchasing property. But that's just a stamp duty. And that does help. But with the prices of homes and just raw land going up the way it is, it keeps getting further and further out of reach for a lot of people. And, unless there's some sort of, terrible words to say, economic decline, we got overheated. And we're not booming anymore, and the land prices come down. But then other things happen too. If that is the cause of it, maybe people are out of jobs if you have that kind of decline, right? But it is something that a lot of young people are facing. Maybe even older people. Housing is a problem. In fact, when it comes to young people, I've heard on more than one occasion, I've heard of young people pulling up stakes and migrating and saying, I think I can do better someplace else, like the UK. You know, they just find themselves outpriced here in Cayman. And it's, you know, Cayman's a great place to live, but you got to pay for it. Here's another little stat here that out of that same report, the Residential Property Price Index, launched by the government on the 26th of September, shows that average prices across the islands rose by 334% and 517% from 1998 to 2024. And it says that's great for existing homeowners, but makes it more challenging for Caymanians to purchase property. Yeah, if you own a home and you want to sell it, you can make a good profit there. But when you're looking to become a homeowner, that is a barrier to you getting yourself a house. And everything is going up. I'm going back to the turtle meat. Turtle meat costing $9, but costing the public $9 on retail, but it costs $31 to produce that. And would you pay $31 per pound for turtle meat, right? Or maybe it's just what they charge to restaurants. And I guess you might say, well, what restaurant is going to pay that? And what kind of restaurant serves turtle meat? Are they able to pay that amount and mark it up and actually be able to sell it? Like I said, it is the national dish, so it would be something special, a delicacy, like caviar. But then I guess a lot of what we would call high-scale restaurants, the West Bay Road restaurants, do they sell turtle meat? I don't know. I don't think too many of them sell turtle meat, right? But the Turtle Farm, or Turtle Center, I mean, it's just it has to be subsidized, and selling the turtle meat at a loss, I guess, is something that they find acceptable. It's a cultural thing. People want to buy turtle meat, and according to this article that I'm looking at, it's as popular as ever, and people are wanting more and more of it. Of course, again, you got the economic rule there, right? If you got demand, you're supposed to be able to raise the price, right? That's economics. Demand, the price goes up. If there's no demand, then the price has to go down so you can try and sell it. So maybe we'll see something happen there where turtle meat is not as cheap as what it used to be. Well, we got about 17 minutes left in the show. If you want to get in a call here, need to pick up the phone, give me a call. And we're going to take a break and come right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
It's me again, that old gal Gala Wanton with Cayman Airways. Look here, I go in Tampa again, cause Tampa tickets are on sale and they're flying faster than fritters at a fish fry. I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips with my award-winning national airline, Siona Erectly.
Book by October 8th for travel through December 15th from just $293 CI round trip, including taxes and fees. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman News.
Not guilty of illegally possessing a firearm.
We are 26 constables short across all shifts on Grand Cayman.
Only a magician could make the equation balance. It was an impossible situation.
Your application and ability to now monitor our maritime activity.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Circle of Love Women's Ministry Fundraising Gospel Concert in West Bay, Saturday, October 4th, 6:30 p.m. Admission $10 at the West Bay Heritage Park, featuring the Red Bay Gospel Band, gospel recording artist Cranston Forbes, Live and Friends, Tanisha Morgan, and many, many more. All proceeds go to the Seniors Brunch 2025. It's a gospel event you don't want to miss. A gospel event you don't want to miss.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. I think we have a WhatsApp call coming in there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. We lost the call. Hello? All right. What's up, caller? Best that you call on 949-6990 because we're having some trouble there with our WhatsApp line. Maybe it's that Wi-Fi acting up again. So if you give us a call at 949-6990, we can chat. And well, the Economics and Statistics Office is going to be out and about, taking 2 surveys that they always do: the Fall Labor Force Survey and the Quality of Life Survey. And those are actually underway right now. They got started on Sunday. So interviewers will be knocking on your door. And they will have Economics and Statistics Office ID cards. So, make sure that they identify themselves, because sometimes once it's known that these kind of surveys are taking place, scammers will try to take advantage of things and claim that they are there for an interview too, but they're there to case the property and maybe even do worse things. But once you know you got a bona fide Economics and Statistics Office viewer, give them your corporation so they can get a picture of what is happening in Cayman as far as how people feel about their quality of life and the labor force. Here's something from the most recent quality of life survey. Found that 81.8% of Caymanians were satisfied overall with their quality of life, but just over 3/4 of Caymanians said they were satisfied with the state of our natural world. So you got to knock on the door from the ESO. Let them know, how things are for you as far as work, and as far as your quality of life. That's how they get their information there. And we've got about 10 minutes left in the program, and if you want to give a call, you're welcome to do so. Maybe you want to talk about your quality of life. What's happening with you right now? Do you think, are you satisfied with your quality of life in Cayman? I know we were talking earlier about it being hard for people to get, especially younger people, to move into that first house. So I don't know how that affects people. Interesting, in that last segment that we had there with the Circle of Love ministries, women's ministries, it has come up again about the problem of seniors having access to good health care. That is something that is pretty widespread in Cayman, because once you stop working, your whole insurance picture changes, and you're now older, and that's when you need health insurance probably the most in your whole life. We do have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. I just want to give a little input. How do you feel about Mr. Bruce getting such a high position? And, other Caymanians have applied for that post and was not successful.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about. And I is this a government post? What are you talking about?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to go into personnel matters. That's not.
That's not, because everyone knows it's online. It's all over the news in Cayman, and everyone knows the position that he has gotten. So I would like to know why the other Caymanians that have applied for the post have not got the position.
Well, if it is a government post, as you're telling me, and I don't know what you're talking about. There's a lot of vetting that goes on in the civil service before anyone's giving a job.
Pardon?
I said, if you're applying for a job in the civil service, which is what you're talking about, that this is a civil service job.
Well, he had to get a job if he applied for civil service. It is a civil service job, and he had to apply.
And what I'm saying is, you're saying, why was he chosen? Well, I guess he was the best candidate. I mean, anyone who's applied for a civil service job knows that quite a bit of vetting goes on.
Well, if you don't know, I would advise you to dig a little deeper, and then we can discuss it later on, since you really don't know what is going on. But I'm kind of surprised that you really don't know what is going on being a talk show host. Anyway, I'll leave it to the next time. Thank you.
I don't really keep up with who's being hired in government. You know, I mean, it's a big organization, and I guess they're hiring people every day. I don't keep track of who's being hired in the civil service. So, if I don't know and I don't think I'll be digging much further. But that is quite a process. I mean, in most of these jobs, depending, I guess, on the level, you know, if anyone has ever applied for a civil service job, you got to sit in front of a panel, like about 3 people or something that interview you, and a decision is made. But okay, we have someone on the line again. Okay. Hello, you're on the air. Hello.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What I'm going to say to you now, sir, you have to endeavor that every morning when you wake up, you have to check all media sources, all the formal media sources, to know what's going on. Might have some topics.
I do actually. I do actually, but I didn't really see the latest hirings in government or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, she's right. It's all over social media. What I wanted to call back and discuss quickly, you know me, I'm going back to housing. I understand, and maybe you can do some background follow-up with this. I understand that there is a fund. I'm calling it a fund, but I don't think that that's the right name within government. I think it's at the Lands and Survey or the Planning Department or something, that when developers, I think it's developers and or investors or something, when they come in and they apply for permission to develop, their developments, that they have to contribute some sort of funding to this particular fund. And I understand some time ago in some administration, I won't say which one, some of that monies was diverted for other purposes instead of, diverting to the real purpose of housing. I don't know how true that is, but I did get that from what I consider a reliable source. But, talking about senior citizens, quick time, I know you're wrapping up. You're absolutely right in regards to our senior citizens' needs for health insurance. And I discovered that in Georgetown, especially earlier this year. But also housing for senior citizens is a real lax, more so than anything else. And I don't know how we're going to solve all these problems at one given time, because, housing is almost, housing and medical is like destitute situations, especially for our seniors and our disabled and children. But we really need to put more spotlight on those issues and have more people step forward and try to see what we can do.
It was good to hear Ms. Hunter saying that, she's taking this on and it's a priority for the government as far as insurance and senior citizens.
Right. Yes. That's good. I sort of missed that part because I was doing something else. But Ms. Hunter is I've recently known her, and I've found her to be a very, very caring person that's really concerned about community service and so forth. Her and Ms. Heather, actually. So we'll look forward and see what's going to happen. And you keep promoting these things as much as you can to get the awareness out there. And people need to start donating some funds to some of these nonprofit organizations, that helps people. But I'll leave you with that. I see it's 2:30. We'll catch up again, maybe tomorrow.
Well, actually, got 2 minutes to go.
Oh, my clock is wrong then, but I'll leave you, sir. Maybe someone else calling in.
All right. Thanks for the call. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Yes, we've heard on here about how seniors can't get the kind of health checks that they need. We've heard it from the Lions. We've heard it from the breast cancer organization. And again, we heard it from the Circle of Love Ministries. How people who are retired, they no longer have the kind of insurance coverage that they had while they were working. They can't just go and, get a check, a health check, because they don't have the coverage with their health insurance. And there has to be something done, and done urgently, because this is that time of life when you need to be able to see a doctor, and you often have to see a doctor more frequently. You're on medication in many cases, high blood pressure, whatever it is, and that is the kind of medication that you need to take every day. If you're on high blood pressure medicine, you need to take that every day, and people shouldn't have to be deciding whether to get their medication or pay their light bill. Not in a place like Cayman. It is 2:30, and that means that's it for me. That's it for Talk Today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.